What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the land of reckless logic. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from me. And with that being said, let's get straight into this video. Oh my God, I'm over here touching every single thing up here, baby. All right, but however, let me just hurry get started, y'all, because I got an interesting thing I really want to get into. Let's go. Alrighty, y'all. So let's get straight into it. So by the title of this video, y'all already know what I'm about to talk about. I'm about to talk about Drew Make Him Happy Sidora. Now, hold up, y'all. Water break. Oh Lord. So basically, what was going on? I was on Beyonce's internet, minding my business up in everybody else's business, and while everything was taking place, baby. Hey, what's going on, y'all? While everything was taking place, I ended up coming across this particular clip of Drew Make Him Happy Sidora. Now, she was on Watch What Happens Live. That's what Bravo. Now, if you do not know who Drew Sidora is an actress. Now, I don't know if she's a B-list or C-list, more like a D-list. But however, she's an actress. Where I knew her from The Game. That's an OBT show way back in the day. But however, currently she's on the current season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm about to say Potomac. Lord Jesus. But however, with that being said, so she was on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And when she was on there, they were talking about some current events that were going on with the show and asking her, did she feel bad about certain things? Now, I would play the clip, but however, the way that Bravo's over here taking people's channels, taking people's videos, I'm not even going to run the risk, even though this clip is accessible everywhere. But I'm not going to run that risk. That's not what's going to happen. Let me put my banner up. Forgive me, y'all. I'm over here losing it. So with that being said, I will be referencing, but however, let me play my disclaimer because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be cussing and I just might play the video. So let's just get straight into it. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allows is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, always constructive. Comment down below. News reporting, I guess that's what we doing. Teaching, hopefully y'all learn something. Scholarship, we ain't got no money. Education and research so you can get a nasty piece of degree. Okay? Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Now, let me just do this, because, girl, I low-key got a bone to pick with y'all. I got a bit of a bone to pick with y'all. All right, my bone is that my last video, the video before this one, I ended up, introducing this particular intermission video, fair use video, explicit content video, right? And why nobody didn't tell me? Why didn't y'all tell me that disclaimer at the top was misspelled? I had to go back and watch the video, and it caught my attention, and I was like, dang, I already posted the video. It's already been live streamed. People are actually loving the video. You live and you learn, but however, this is a process. But let me get into this. So this is the video I'm referring to. I'm not gonna play it though. This mother right here. Actually, I want y'all to see I want to see it on the big screen. This bad boy right here. Now, Miss Drew Sidora was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. There we go. It's coming out more smoothly. And I believe she was on there with Contessa from Married to Medicine. So while she was on there, she was on there talking about her experiences and her how she felt about certain things on the show. So they end up asking her, Andy ended up asking her about how she felt about Sanya. Now, for those who do not know who Sanya Richards Ross is, Sanya is a former track and athlete. I think she went to the Olympics, and I believe she won 4 times. Do not quote me how many times she won. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But however, so Sanya is a newbie on the show. It's her first season. So on the show, hey, what's going on? So on the show, Drew was just about giving Sanya, I guess, criticism, advice about why she wasn't going to have another child, or she didn't want to have another baby with her current husband. So, I'm not gonna lie. Let me take this down because I need to see y'all face to face. Because, baby, I'm not gonna lie. When Drew was speaking, I was like, oh my God, this girl don't know what the hell she's talking about. So basically, when she was on Watching What Happens Live, she was basically saying that she feels like when you're in a marriage, relationship, or whatever, you guys need to be on the same page. And I do agree. You do need to be on the same page. But then she also began to double down on her comments of, Sanya didn't give me a good reason why she didn't want to have the baby. And she felt like that since she's the woman and she loves her husband, she should give him the baby. I really want to play this clip, but I'm really scared they're going to try to take this video down. So let me do this. Miss Drew, I'm trying to see the best way I can put this. I liked Drew when she first came on to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to say before she actually got on. When I first seen Drew, I was like, oh my God, this is Drew. I remember her from the game. Yes, I'm here for it. I was excited. But then as she slowly started to get on the scene, I was like, can you hurry up and take her off? But also, too, in addition to that, I do know and I do understand that when people are new to a show, especially a show that's already established, it either can go 100% right or 100% wrong. So a lot of times, too, from the show Real Housewives of Atlanta, a lot of times for the new people, it goes 100% wrong. Like, they never really had newbies that stayed. The last couple people that stayed was Kenya, Portia, and probably Eva. Everybody else was just the 1 season, 2 seasons, and they out. So I understand your first season gonna be a little rough. But however, here's my thing with Miss Drew Sidora. With Drew, I feel like she tries too hard. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand as reality TV, it's your job. It's your job to produce content. It's your job to, depending upon the show, to be in conflict, be in drama, and for the purpose of that particular show, to read a bitch down or be in conflict with somebody and also hold events. I get that. But here's my thing when I got with Drew. My thing with Drew is that it feels forced. It comes off as forced, and it looks forced. Like, my thing is, if you're gonna do it. And but how I do it in a way so where even if it's forced, it doesn't come off as cringy. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what she was saying is that, when you have a husband and you love him, you must have the baby. And because, if he can't have the baby and, if you don't have the baby, someone else is going to have that baby. I was like, oh my God, Drew, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Oh my God. Let me just make this clear. First and foremost, I do agree that when it comes down to relationships, you must be on the same page. But however, in real life, real time, that's not always the case. Because you know why? Life happens. You know why? Things happen. Experiences transpire, okay? But however, this is where Drew is missing the point. Because for me, I have been keeping up with the season. I haven't watched every single episode. I've been keeping up. Sanya did give a reason why she did not want to have another child with her husband. I cannot remember this man's name to save my life, but she did answer why. Now, here's the thing. She literally said out her mouth is that with Sanya, I believe at the time when she ended up getting pregnant, but however, she was like on the road, I guess, to the Olympics or whatever. And so basically, all in all, from what I understand, she basically terminated the pregnancy because she felt like she felt like she wanted to choose her career over her having a child at that time. And in the midst of her making that decision of terminating the pregnancy, from her words now, her husband did not give her support. And so that was strike one. Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Now, Sanya also said within that exact same conversation, sentiment, and also her time period of being on the show, she also said that when she had her current child, the one she got now, her husband did not give her support. So I'm still confused on why in the hell, Miss Drew Sidora, why in the hell do you want Sanya to give this man a baby? But however, he's showing her that he's not going to give her support. That does not make any sense. It does not make no sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Does not make any sense to me. Like, if he already showed you that he's not going to give you support when the baby's in the womb, if he's not going to give you support when the baby's here in the womb or etc., if he's not going to give you support when you are going through the emotional trauma, mental trauma of terminating the pregnancy, what the hell, man? Why would you do that again? That doesn't make any sense. So the thing with Drew is that I'm not going to lie, it felt like she was like deep into dogma. And we're gonna have to thank patriarchy for that bullshit, because it felt like she was like, yeah, if you love him, then you should give him a baby, and then you should do that. Like, it just felt like she was kind of like reducing women's. It felt like she was trying indirectly reducing women's functions to them just strictly having children. And I'm gonna be honest, these whole gender roles bullshit, we got to get the hell up out of that, because we are much more than quote unquote our roles. We are much more than women just pushing out babies. We're much more than men just quote unquote providing. Like, let's be very clear. It's a team effort. Now, I will also say this. Let's also keep in mind as well, and because the thing with Drew, she said that, Sanya didn't give me a reason. First off, she doesn't need a reason. She does not need a reason to let people know that she's not ready to have a child, or she does not want to have a child. But however, let's also keep in mind too, she did give a reason. But let's also keep in mind as well is that when it comes down to Black women in particular, they're three times. Now, this is why I'm gonna get a little cloudy, because I don't know the exact statistic, but I know it's correct. They're more likely, I want to say 3 times more likely to die from having birth, y'all. Like, I don't understand. Hold on, y'all. My mouth is dry as hell. Oh Lord. So I don't know why this whole thing of just thinking that you just push out a couple of babies and all this different like, I think that's something that really needs to be considered. And since Sanya already made it clear that when I had terminated a pregnancy in the past, he was not there. And I don't know, not there. I don't know if she meant physically, emotionally, mentally, or combination of all the motherfuckers. But however, he didn't give her the appropriate support. But then when she had actually went through with a pregnancy, she didn't see no distinction or difference within the support. It was just about non-existent. Now, I don't know non-existent in what aspect, but apparently what wasn't present is basically what was needed. You get what I'm saying? So let me say this. Because I really want to play the clip, but I think I'm going to play it. And let's just hope and pray up. Am I allowed to play? Because it's low. Actually, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it because I got something in my soul was telling me that they're gonna get your ass. Even though I'm a small YouTuber, they're gonna be like, bitch, we don't give a fuck. Okay. But like, to be completely honest, when it came down to the whole Drew saying that stuff, it seemed like she didn't get it. And you know it's bad when Andy Cohen, a Caucasian man, queer man, has more sense and actually knows that it's up to the woman, it's up to female, it's up to divine feminine to make that decision whether or not they want to have a baby. Now, I will say this, it would have been different. Now, I will say this, I felt like Drew would have had a point if it was if it was a situation where Sanya and her husband got together and their agreement was we're gonna have such and such amount of babies, but then when she gets into the relationship, there's nothing wrong, everything is going well, and then he's still under the pretense that they're still gonna go through with the plan of having this big giant family, and then she just changes her mind, and then I could be like, okay, I can see where the issue can possibly be, and yada yada yada. But even then, that's still not your decision, because at the end of the day, for the most part, women in particular are the ones stuck with the responsibility with the children. Like, they're the ones breastfeeding. They're the ones has to be with the baby. They're the one, like, keep in mind too, another reason why a lot of times women, quote unquote, have to choose between their career and having a family is because of the simple fact of it takes a toll on their body. So which means that you're going to be the one, since you are the husband, you're going to be the one still leaving the house, having a job, having access to resources and money, and being able to leave the situation when you want to. However, she's not going to be able to do that. Let's just call a spade a spade. The divine feminine not going to get the opportunity to do that. So, and on top of that, let's also, I believe it's called postpartum. Also take into account postpartum. You have to go through the hormonal imbalance, and then you got to deal with the mood swings, from what I hear now, I ain't never had no baby, but from what I hear, it can be extremely, like, it can be extreme, like depression extreme. So I don't know, like I really wasn't really messing with Drew, and I kind of want to put her pic back up here just so you can see what the hell her dumb ass was up there saying. But like, to be completely honest, like, when it came down to Drew, I really wasn't really messing with Drew when she was saying it, because I was like, out of anybody, you should know this. You should know this. And then on top of that, I felt like everybody in the crowd was looking at her like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what are you saying, sis? Be quiet. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then Andy was 100% right when he called her out. He was like, you sounded real Supreme Courtish. I didn't see no issue with it, because that's exactly what she sounded like. She sounded a fool, a mess. Oh, Lord. Let me read some of these comments, y'all. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Drew's so cute and dumb. I'll be like this. I don't think that she... Oh, shit, let me do this. I don't think that she's, like, dumb. I really just think that she's really... I wasn't trying to have this like a deep conversation, but we're going to have to take it there. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like a lot of women think the way that she does. Now a lot of women don't, but I feel like a lot of women do. I have to say a lot of people, because there's men that agree with that philosophy. When we eat ice, baby. There's a lot of men that agree with that philosophy too. But let's keep in mind, that type of programming, thinking, that comes from patriarchy. That comes from the programming and conditioning of a woman always thinking, a woman always having to be always, their value is based off how many children can they bring into this world. It's the same way how the way, okay, I'm putting it like this. It's the same way how through society, low-key, women are socialized to look at a man for their money. Men are socialized to look at women for their beauty or their health. Because back in the day, from the early stages, men would use their money, and still to this day, they will use their money or their finances, their resources, as a way to court women. That's the reason why you were the provider. Because guess what? At the time, women didn't have jobs or resources. In addition to that, women will use their beauty as a way to attract the highest bidder. Now I know this may come off like an asshole type of move, but however, that's really what it is. Like that's the reason why there were beauty pageants. That's the reason why even in 19 when they had female gyms, it was so the machines that they were using, it was so built around them, quote unquote, looking good. And from what I've seen from it, it wasn't even worrying about them building muscle, anything like that. It was mostly trying to work out curves and make sure their skin was clear and all these different types of things so they can attract a mate. Which is like, if you actually go to the more extreme level, and I'm just going to be blunt with this, this is the same reason why city girls want a rich nigga. And it's the same reason why Future, somebody else this out. A Future want a fat ass. The most basic level, the most to its most ignorant level, okay? But I do believe that this all comes from patriarchy. Well, I don't believe it. I know it all stems from patriarchy only because of the simple fact of now you have women. Not even, it's always like catering to the man, thinking about the man. Now, I do believe you do have to compromise and make your spouse happy. But however, I'm not going to, quote unquote, make somebody else happy. But however, my own livelihood and also my own happiness is at stake. Not happening. And so I think that's the bit that Drew is missing out, because the simple act of, for one, she doesn't have to give you a reason. Two, let's just say she does go out with the pregnancy and this lady just says she loses her life. Keep in mind too, Sanya, she has a condition. I believe it gives her cold sores and stuff. Now, what's the name of that condition? I have no clue. But I will say this, is that when it comes down to Drew saying that, you know, oh, you must have the baby, you must make him happy. Yes, I do. I understand make people happy, but however, don't try to make somebody else happy. Don't try to make somebody else happy if that equates you going down the wrong path or going to the grave. I'm just saying. And the thing is with that is that she did give a reason. Her reason is that he's not giving me support. And I think a lot of times too, when it comes down to men in particular, once again, warning, not all men. I have to say that because they'd be like, what you mean? Not all men, but I will say this. Hey, I feel like a lot of times, and even when because me and Conscious was literally watching a video yesterday of this old reality TV star, and he was, I think a lot of times too, men believe I think they conflate being present as in being present physically. A lot of times when it comes down to relationships, typically, but not all, women do a lot of the emotional and mental work when it comes down to being in a relationship. When it comes down to men in particular, they're more on the aspect of being there physically. And this also goes to another reason why when they say that when a woman leaves, her mind checks out first, because guess what? She was the one doing the mental and emotional work. But since her spouse or whoever is not present or there, they check out mentally. Now, physically, they may feel quote unquote obligated to still be there. But however, up in here, exit stage left or right, whichever, find the closest exit. Okay. So I think because I've even heard from other men, you know, of course, doing the panels, of course, going around the manosphere, going around, you know, different aspects of YouTube, Bigo, whatever. They always say that, you know, I'm there for my children and all these different things. And that's cool. Be there. Yes. But however, what are you feeding your children? Like, what are you feeding your children? What are you doing? Like, yes, you're there for your relationship. Yes. But however, are you nurturing your relationship? Are you there just physically, or are you there just mentally? Are you there just emotionally? Are you present emotionally? Are you present there mentally? Like, it's more aspects to a relationship than just these quote unquote gender roles. And I think that's where the issue comes into effect, is because since we see more of a elevation, girl, forgive me, get it together, lack of sleep, more of an evolution. There we go. Yes, come on, I was fishing for that word, baby. Lack of sleep, but I got this. More of an evolution when it comes down to women's rights and the women's suffrage movement and etc. I believe back in the day, this is what I believe. Actually, I'm gonna say back in the day, since women didn't have access to resources, didn't have access to jobs, didn't have access to a plethora of things, but however, men did have access to those things. A lot of times women's value, quotation marks, y'all, women's value would be based upon them having a spouse. It would be based upon them actually having a man, based upon them having a family. Because guess what? There was nothing outside of the perimeter of family that women were allowed to do. They couldn't vote. They couldn't have jobs. Because they really couldn't do anything without a man signing off on it. So, but however, now since we have gotten to a space somewhat, because the shit still exists, misogyny and that toxic patriarchy still exists. But however, we have gotten to a space to where women are able to do certain things in the Western Hemisphere. Now, I don't know about other countries and nations, but in the Western Hemisphere, USA, y'all, women are allowed to have careers. Women are allowed to think about other aspects of their life that they know that them having a child may put a restriction on at the time. Like 9 times out of 10, when a woman, now this is just a loose statistic, y'all. It's not like a real thing, but this is with me just talking, y'all. Y'all just follow me. I believe 9 times out of 10, when it comes down to a woman wanting to have a career or a baby or a child or a family, the reason why they don't do that is because they know that their body is going to be on the line. They know their health is going to be on the line. They know that it's a possibility that even if I do all of these things, guess what? I'm going to be the one at the house breastfeeding. I'm going to be the one at the house making formula. But however, you're still going to have access to funds and a job. So I do believe that there is a disconnect when it comes down to the mentality of how men and women, and keep in mind too, that can be mixed up as well between the genders, but men and women when it comes down to being present. Because that's what I found interesting when it came down to Sanya and when it came down to her husband, is that to his understanding, I'm just either he just don't give a fuck he just want what he want, or he really believed that he was present. And this also another reason why you have to listen to what people are telling you, especially your loved one. Listen to what they're telling you, because she's literally telling you all in all is that you did not support me. Now, you probably were there physically, financially, but however, you did not support me when I was just about, for lack of better terms, and for me, I like to be real vulgar just so you can get the picture. When I was ripped wide open, and you were nowhere to be found. You weren't there for me when back in the past where I had to quote unquote terminate a pregnancy. And a lot of times too, I don't know why people think that terminating a pregnancy is like an easy decision, because it's not. I don't know why, like people just think, oh, let's go terminate a pregnancy. Oh my God. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe, and I will say this, I do believe that there are instances where a woman be like, man, I don't want that baby. I'm gonna go, and it's like, no doubt about it. But however, let's just say that is the truth. That's a small percentage in minority. That's a small percentage in minority. So, and also let's go with that. Let's just say a woman just says, I don't want to have them baby. 9 times out of 10, let's just say if she does go with that logic, come on, reckless logic. Let's just say if she does go with that logic, I think it's not really having It's not really having so much to do with her. My mouth is dry, baby. It has probably more to do with you. No shade, because if she's saying that I do not want to have your baby, then what does that have to say about you? No shade. So I'm gonna be honest. Let me continue reading some of these comments because I most definitely have to talk about Neo and his stuff. Gert, let me see. Let me go all the way back to. Okay, so yes, Drew looks phony. Oh shit. Yes, Drew looks phony and forced and very lost and sad looking. Like, to be completely honest, when it comes down to Drew, now keep in mind, I'm trying to keep this commentary up to 40 minutes. I'm trying to make it shorter, y'all. I'm trying to do my thing. But I'm gonna say this: when it comes down to Drew, honestly, the thing that gets me, like I said, it feels forced. It feels forced, and then on top of it, if you pay attention to her storyline and pay attention to how she operates on reality TV, it's always so staged. You're bringing props. Now, I do understand sometimes with props and stuff, it's going to be good. But however, on this last particular episode, when she was going back at it with Sheree's friend Fatum, and hopefully I'm not butchering this lady name, Fatum, she brought, now keep in mind, they're in the middle of the wilderness. Drew make him happy. Sidora does not have access to any type of pit bulls, Rottweilers, Chihuahuas, nothing like that. But however, she was calling Fatum a dog. And so she threw a dog bone in the middle of an argument. You mean to tell me you went to a PetSmart and bought a dog bone just for that particular scene because you knew you was going to get into it with that girl? It's stuff like that like, it's cringy. And then it's cringy for me. And then, like I said before, if you pay attention to the way that she operates, it's kind of similar. First time we met you at a table. And I said this in the other live, in my Nene commentary. We met you at a table and you were going at it with your husband, asking him what he did in Tampa. And then later on in the season, y'all had, I think, counseling or whatever, and then we never heard from it. And then we never heard anything about it again. This particular season, we start off the exact same way. We see you at a table talking to your husband because he has something going on with his assistant or whatever the storyline was. It was just too much similarities, and I'm like, it's cringy for me. Let me see. She don't know how to read and eat it up to where no one can come back and drag her. Girl, pretty and dumb. Yeah, Drew is very I'm just so mad because I really liked Drew. I really had hope for Drew. But however, like I said, everybody that first season is kind of rough because if you think about it, a lot of people, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of people like Drew more because Sanya is present. You get what I'm saying? I think people like Drew more because Sanya is present. So I'm pretty sure if they get somebody else, they won't hate Sanya as much. Be completely honest, I can take Sanya. Don't get me wrong. Like even when Sanya, don't get me wrong, like Sanya, she does some things. I was like, girl, what the, like I was like annoyed with her. But however, for me, it doesn't come off as I'm gonna say as forced. Now I do understand when you're in the element of being in reality TV, you have to get into the groove of things and let it naturally flow. But I don't know, somebody has to do it because the thing about it, the show was at this point is based in the foundation of being messy, having arguments, and all the different types of things. Somebody gonna have to do it. So with that being said, Drew is here, Sanya is here. Who else gonna do it? Shit, every time we get a new person, y'all kick him out. Get rid of them. Yeah. And let me say this too. And this has nothing to do with the commentary, but since we're on Real Housewives, let me say this too. Now, don't get me wrong. Marlo done got her peach. Do not get me wrong. Marlo does the most when it comes down to her having a peach. She does the most, which we all knew was going to happen. But however, y'all cannot sit, not y'all, but if the shoe fit, come on, Cinderella. Y'all cannot sit up here and try to get Marlo kicked off the show for what she's saying to Kenya, for how she's treating Kenya, for the way she's operating with Kenya. But however, in the same breath, rejoice for Phaedra Parks to come back. I believe it's Real Housewives of Dubai, and wants Portia to come back to the franchise of Atlanta. Now, I do understand they probably gonna need some people to spice that cast up a little bit, a little paprika, a little salt and pepper, season the salt, spice it up a little bit. But you can't deny one and then yet try to kick this one out, but then you want these two over here. Y'all need to make it make sense. But I'm just gonna continue. Reckless, it makes sense coming from a woman with who. Ooh. But being completely honest, I really don't believe that was a real storyline. Like the whole thing of her not knowing where he was, like that's not a real storyline. Her not knowing anything about the assistant, I personally don't believe. Now I'm not gonna say it's not. I personally don't believe it was real. I personally do not believe it was real. And if that storyline was real, Drew deserved her ass whooped, and Ralph deserved his ass whooped too. Mr. Wreck-It Ralph. Okay. Plus, her hands are full with their son now. And yes, her hands are full with their son now. So why would you, if we already have a child here, and I'm already up to here, and I've already had experiences with you not being my quote unquote rock and protect me and all these different things, why would I add another child in that equation? That doesn't make any sense. Like, and so that's why I really wanted to like kind of like Drew, like what are you talking about? Like everybody was looking at her like kind of crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, and I could be kind of far off. I felt like even people in the audience, even Ralph then was looking like, oh Lord, this bitch gonna get dragged. Girl, let me see. Even Andy bigot ass called her out. I'm gonna be honest, because we're gonna have that conversation about him being a bigot. Do I believe that Andy has microaggressive, probably racist behavior? Possibly. He's Caucasian. Possibly. So even if it's not explicit, it's probably underlined. But I will say this, because I noticed this a lot. When it comes down to, because this was brought to my attention by Nene Leakes. When it comes down to the whole racism aspect of the show, all these things, when it came down to Nene in particular, I have no problem with Nene having an issue with the show and exposing the behavior and sentiments that have been shared on set and behind the scenes. But however, the issue that I have with Nene in particular is that it comes off like you're only doing this because you're no longer on the show. And I feel personally, this reckless logic speaking, I feel like if they were to come to an agreement, or would have, because I don't know if they even at a point of return at this point, if they would have came to a point of agreement, she would have been just cool with everything and the way everything was operating. But however, since she got the shorter end of the stick now all of a sudden, all this racist stuff is starting to come out and be exposed. Now, also to that, another reason why I'm like, Nene, because it's not solely about Andy. For me, I like to pay attention to the way you operate and the way that you maneuver out here on these social media, Beyonce's internet streets. You were on the last reunion. Now I forgot which reunion it was, where she had the red on. And Kenya had on the purple. And Kim Zolciak came on. And y'all told Kim Zolciak ass up. And I lived for every moment. I was like, yes, get that heifer, get her. I was here for it. And all in all, the end result, and in conclusion, we came to the summary of Kim Zolciak is racist. And to my knowledge, I could be wrong, you called her racist. Or that was the undertone of everything, right? But then when you and Andy are at odds, you and Bravo are at odds. You get on a live with Kim Zolciak, and not only that, before she actually gets on the live, you say, "Oh my God, my very favorite person," and then white chick show up. Bitch, I was like, what the fuck going on? And so when I seen that, I was like, okay, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So, nah, she done when it comes to relationship to a man. When it comes to relationships, I mean, well, Mary, you're not wrong, because I thought it was dogma too. I was like, this is giving off dogma tease. This is most definitely giving off dogma tease, because cause even when she was speaking with Sanya, I believe, I forgot what scene it was, it felt like she would like click into a whole different space. She was like, no, but you love him. You're supposed to give him you're supposed to give him a child. You have one. You're supposed to have three. You're supposed to submit to your man. Like it was given that. So yeah, it was given dogma. It was given like MK Ultra. It was given trans, not trans as transgender, but like trans as in like it was given that. Now she's girl, yeah, she most definitely is, and you already know where that comes from. Let me see. It says Silly Drew, she fell for the Andy Cohen setup. She should have passed on even discussing something. Like, and my thing is this. If you see, here's the thing I don't be understanding. It's one thing to hold, it's one thing to hold on to your beliefs. But however, it's a whole nother thing to also take into consideration of the backlash your ass is going to get. It's you must take into consideration that, you know, if all these people are dragging me, if all these people are saying certain things about me, I maybe need to take this into consideration. Now, I do understand. Don't take everything into consideration, because sometimes people try to feed you bullshit. But however, when it comes down to this, baby, this is not no bullshit. You need to listen, okay? Let me see. Setting up them up. Yes. What's up, y'all? Period. I get them likes up. Get my likes up. They do a lot of ganging up on Drew a lot of times, but Drew is so corny and weird. I don't know. I don't know. I like her sometimes, then I don't. I feel like, I'm putting it to you like this. I feel like the reason why people like, well, I don't know if you liked her last season. I'm gonna say this. I personally feel that people like her this season because of different factors that's going to play a part. One, she's not the most hated. I'm gonna say in a sense, as in she's not Marlo, she's not Sanya. So naturally, that's gonna put her above the bullshit, at least as much dragging that she probably is gonna get in the show. Two, we seen her last season, so we kind of know what Drew gives. Now, I will say this: I'm not gonna be the one to say to kick her off the show. I'm not gonna say that, but however, I do believe that give her some time, and you know, if things work out, they work out. If they don't, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Give her some time. Let me see. Drew is ditzy. Lord Jesus, fix it. The second person on the islands that haven't into a fight with it. Oh my God, girl, you better make sure you're over here women on these islanders. Marlo has always done the most, though. Yeah, Marlo has also done. Here's the thing: Marlo has always done the most. I'm gonna try to make this live an hour. Marlo has always done the most, but the thing is that she's really not doing anything different than a lot of the other girls. Now I do understand that she goes below the belt. Like, she goes below the belt. That's one thing I cannot deny. She goes below the belt. But let me say this too, because this is the reason why I be trying to give people pushback when it comes to Marlo and all these different things, because the same people that down Marlo for doing certain things are the same people that live for Phaedra and Portia. No one said anything about Phaedra doing what she did that included Portia, because I'm not going to say it on this platform, what they accused Kandi of. No one said anything when Portia was literally doing the fake apologies. And just saying, oh, I'm so sorry, all these different types of things. Then you're trying to get cool with Kenya, and you want her to show you mercy, then y'all get cool. And then as soon as you get in good graces with the rest of the cast, you throw Kenya off to the side. Like, girl, I just can't. No, if you're gonna disagree with it all across the board. Don't disagree with it over here, but over here you accept it. Come on. I haven't watched the last 3 seasons, but I know it isn't hitting them high rate. But here's the thing, like, okay, so Kenya actually explained it. Keep in mind that a lot of people are not really watching TV. Like, for me, I don't even have a TV really. I have a TV right here, but I ain't watching that shit. Like, I'm mostly on my phone. A lot of my stuff I see on my phone. Like, I'll go to streaming service, I watch it on my phone. I really don't even watch TV like that for real. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that also plays a part. And Kenya did explain it. She said a lot of those numbers are distorted only because of the simple fact of we as viewers or people that actually look at those particular numbers, they are seeing the TV broadcasting numbers. They're not the other numbers that factor in streaming services, the other numbers that factor in, apps or certain things. Like, us as people that actually look those numbers. Now, I'm not going to say because I don't look at the numbers like that, but people that actually look at the numbers as viewers, we don't have access to those particular numbers. So, I don't know. Let me see. It's contrary to popular belief. I like Marlo even when she does the most. Sometimes because she don't back down from no one, especially Kenya and Kandi. Being completely, I can't. The thing, like, I do like it that she doesn't back down, but the thing that I don't like about Marlo in particular is that when it comes down to Kenya in particular, she's never gonna win. Same thing with Portia, you're never gonna win. Same thing with Phaedra, you're never gonna win. And this has, and keep in mind when I say that this has nothing to do with favoritism, you're never going to win. Reason being is because you're playing dirty. In the words of Nene, I'm gonna take your boyfriend, husband, leaks, allegedly. You never win when you play dirty. Where is Portia now? Where is Phaedra now? Where is Nene Leaks now? And from the way that everything is looking and with the way that people are reacting to Marlo being on the show, where is Marlo going to be now? And the thing about it is this. Portia left the show voluntarily. She voluntarily left the show. To my understanding, she quit the show. But then she ended up having her own show, and that bad boy tanked because we saw a different aspect to Portia. Well, I'm not going to say we because I've been seeing her, and I wasn't really too much a fan of her. We saw Portia for every single thing that Kenya has literally said. She plays the victim. She plays ditzy. She plays dumb, but she knows what she's doing. What happened with Phaedra? She showed us for every single thing. And once again, not us, not me, but y'all. She showed us every single thing. And in particular, Kandi showed Kandi in particular, and y'all, everything that what Kenya was saying was true. That she tells lies. And keep in mind, she's a lawyer. And the thing about being a lawyer, to my understanding, is all about semantics. How can you be able to answer the question and sometimes answer hard-hitting questions without actually answering the question? How can I be able to play around with language, and how can I be able to talk my way out of this situation? And what happened with Phaedra? And we've seen how that ended up. He shows favoritism. I do believe I haven't watched the show in a little bit though. Like, I've seen the show, but I haven't paid attention to like the way Andy and stuff. I will say this. Do I believe he shows favoritism? Yes, at times. Yes, he does show favoritism at times. But I will say this as well. Now, Beck, I want to say this before I forget. When it comes down to him and the racism and now I do believe that he does have underlying subtle racist behavior that he enables and probably has or also contributes to. Reason being is because it's been a plethora of them motherfucking Caucasian hoes being on that show, saying a lot of racist stuff, doing a lot of racist stuff, going on racist rants on Twitter with that. I want to say because I do not know the proper terminology, so y'all blame it on my mind, not my heart, y'all. I'm gonna say Asian. I believe Asian is the umbrella term, but however, within Asian you have Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Philippine. I believe it's Asian, y'all. Y'all correct me in the comments if y'all know. You had that Asian motherfucker go bring her racist ass saying some Black Lives, Blue Lives Matter bullshit. But however, they gave that motherfucker a slap on the wrist. Girl, we gonna see. So yes, I do believe that racism, that racist undertones, that subtle racist behavior is there, and he may or may not be aware, but I do believe that racist stuff is there. Nini's not the best example. Let me see. Nini's not the best example, but I'm sure she has experienced some things. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has experienced some things. But here's the thing that gave me with Nini is that you were okay with it until it was your turn. And it's one thing, because don't get me wrong, I do believe that if you're complicit or content with way things are going because you're benefiting from it, okay, I can understand somewhat. Okay, I get it. Get it how you get it. Get it how you live. But however, the thing is that deep in my heart, now I will say now I don't believe that is the case, because I believe that they kind of reached to a point of kind of no return. But deep in my heart, I do believe that at one point in time, before they end up getting this far, at one point in time, if Andy would have called her up, Nene up, and said, yo, I want you back on the show. You're going to get a raise. I'm sorry for everything that happened. And she agreed to it. But however, she came back to that show with the same resources, the same benefits, and probably more. But however, still seen and heard the things that she's alleging, I don't believe she would have said anything, because she would have been content. Even despite all the allegations that she's making against Bravo and Andy, which I do believe. No shade, I do believe it. I don't want to get that mixed up. I do believe that some of that stuff is happening, if not some, all. Okay, let me see. Yes, that's how I felt about Nene thing too. If the check was right, she was gonna be treated like HBC. Yes, it'd have been different. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Ooh, let me help myself out. Yeah. So like I just felt like that's really how I felt about it. Now, let me just, because I kind of went in the whole rant. Whenever I get to talk about one housewife, I start talking about all of them. Let me go start rewinding back now. When it comes down to Nene, hey, what's going on? Refuse to lose. What's going on? I forgot. Is it She Ninja? Dang, these comments going fast, baby. Yeah, She Ninja. What's going on, y'all? Now I'm gonna say this. What's going on, Taylor Moore? Taylor made Taylor, because I can't see because my eyes are messed up. I can make out as Taylor. But okay, so let me just go back to Drew. Yeah, so when it comes down to Drew, I'm gonna give you like a little synopsis. When it comes down to Drew, I felt like she was in. It was given out. It was given. That's what I should have named the live Drew Dogma Sidora. That's what I should have named it, Drew Dogma Sidora. But it was given dogma. It was given preaching a certain philosophy that's not beneficial to women, and also taking into consideration how women should think about themselves in the particular situation, because that's not something you just do just strictly based off of other people. You have to consider yourself. Consider yourself, consider your situation, consider the pros and cons. Get what I'm saying? So the same way, and that was another thing, because when Drew stood up there and said that, yo, you know, when she irks my soul at times, When Drew literally sat up there and said, yo, you know, if you don't give him a baby, somebody else will. What that mean? What that mean? So with that being said, if the car can go forward, it can go backwards. The same way she doesn't have someone that's a good support system, that's not there for her mentally, emotionally, spiritually. He probably there physically. And from what the story she told, that possibly could be a little iffy at times. And by the way, her husband fine too. But y'all, y'all see how I switched that up real quick, but focus. But him not being there emotionally and internally, internally. Yeah, internally. Forgive me, I'm lacking sleep, y'all. Internally, she can find somebody that will. She can find her a stepdaddy for her son. So the same way the car can go forward, it can go backwards. It can reverse, go forward again, then reverse again, then go forward again, reverse again. That pendulum can go to the left and right. Yeah, it goes like that. So I think another thing too, I do believe that with that philosophy, people, I'm gonna say people because men believe in the same thing, not strictly women, but I was using it for context of the conversation. But people give men, they try to give men that doorway to cheat. I'm like, you're not getting that doorway. Like the same thing can happen. The same way they be like, you know, a woman has to choose between her career and having these children and all these different things. I'm like, okay, I do understand to a certain aspect of, yes, it may take a toll on her body, but why does she have to fully choose being a parent compared to also pursuing a career or furthering her education or pursuing her goals? Because the thing about it too, these motherfucking niggas got to take care of their children too. This is not only strictly just women. And once it, I got stuff coming to me, and this is another issue that I be having when it comes down to it, is that I understand. I'm gonna take this whole Jay Lethal situation because we was on the panel. Now, for those who don't know who Jay Lethal is, Jay Lethal is a commentator, content creator. He collaborated with Conscious TV a while ago. Now, but here's the thing: there was a situation with, come on, patriarchy, yes, and because you already know I'm about to tap on it again. But he had a situation with his baby mama or whatever, and where he's having some custody issues. Now keep in mind, the only reason why I'm talking about this because he's already opened up about this, and plus I've been on his channel, so he's discussed this a plethora of times. That's why I'm going to talk about this. So he's had some issues with his baby mama, and to where I believe they were fighting for custody, or they are fighting for custody or whatever, and the baby mom has custody over their son. Try to be careful with my words now. Over their son. And so the thing is, he said when we were on the other panel, when we're talking about censoring black men's emotions, he was talking about how, you know, the court system is not right, all these different types of things, how, you know, they're so quick to just completely get rid of the father when his family splits, as in not having access to their children. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand, and I am here for it. I understand. I completely understand that when it comes down to the court systems, they will a lot of times they will inherently have a bias towards fathers. I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot of times they treat fathers like they're second-class citizens when it comes down to having their children. But this is another response that I told him, is that once again, you cannot uphold these gender roles or gender ideas of what a man should do and what a woman should be responsible doing, and then get mad when other people hold those exact same views, and then guess what? Put their ass in the White House or in Congress and make laws surrounding those views. Even though, don't get me wrong, the law says you must separate law from your belief system. But however, as we see and as we can tell from the overturn of Roe v. Wade, that was some bull to the shit. Okay. But let me say this. The reason why that's an issue and the reason why I say that is because of you. We cannot sit up here and program women and tell women and make it a woman's sole priority to be quote unquote over the children, over the household, over the family domestically. But then when the family separates, that they're still not going to have a one-up over having the children. When you literally, we tell women to, you got to take care of these kids. You got to push out these kids. You got to do these kids, but then get mad when she gets the kids when y'all separate. This is the reason why we have to get rid of all of this stuff. All of this stuff. Because just because you're a mother doesn't automatically make you, or just because you're able to give birth doesn't automatically make you eligible as a good parent. And vice versa. So that's really, that was the whole thing I really wanted to say when it came down to Drew Sidora, because I was like, when I heard it, I was like, I just know she did not just say what I think she just said and completely dismiss what I think she just dismissed. But it really kind of bothered me a little bit, only because simple fact of, I'm like, Drew, this is your experience. Like, you're a woman, and keep in mind too, you're a woman that has literally gone through family issues. And keep in mind, you're a woman, and hopefully, and then again, she's Christian, so I don't know what her views may be about abortion, but especially if you are pro-life, not pro-life, because girl, even when people say pro-life, it's really not life, it's just freaking sales. But even when you're pro women's bodies or pro-choice, you would think that you would be pro-choice about whether a woman wants to have a baby at a particular time or not. So that's really how I feel about it. Let me read this last couple of little things, and then I'm going to get into my neo. Because, girl, I really know just the basic minimal about the situation, but I'm going to read a couple of articles, get real versed on it. Yup, Mary, let me see. I thought about it about that, but it makes total sense since she's had so many. She's probably just like, I'll finance it at least 50% if you let me broadcast my show on Bravo. Well, that could be it. That could be it. But I will say this too, because it was something that I seen. I wanted to make sure that I get on it. Dang, I really, because it was something that I seen. Let me look back. Okay, we was talking about Drew, and was talking about Sanya. It'll come back to me. You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go to the next slide, and then I'm gonna remember it. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Yep, Mary, good-ish, reckless. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all like. Let me see. Men use that as the excuse. They mad their mother has moved on. Or they just don't want to be with the father anymore. They pro-life, they pro-birth, not pro-life. The thing is, they really just weaponize. Hey, what's going on, Rob? For one, I can already tell by your name. That's the baby. Oh, and by the way, I'm about to talk about Mr. Neo after this. But yeah, let me say this. When it comes down to the whole pro-life thing, is BS. It's really BS, because even when they start to get into talking about talking about putting legislation on the heads of men and their autonomy, all that pro-life stuff go out the window. Like, it really goes out the window, because I literally seen the video where people was like, oh, women should have babies because, we're pro-life, it's against God, all these different things. And they always bring up the Bible, or they bring up a different type of reason why, whatever. But then you ask them the flip side, because let's just say they use biblical text. They always use certain biblical texts without the context, and also they also use biblical text without also adding other biblical texts that come along with that. Example, they always say that a woman must submit to their man. But however, they never actually continue the text and actually where the Bible actually lets you know that men, you must also honor and respect your wife as well. They always forget that part. But I will say this. Another example of that is when they tell women that, oh, like they say stuff like, oh, women, you must have children because, it's pro-life. A baby is born, you're killing a baby, murder is bad, all of that. But then when they start talking, then when you start to talk about how masturbation and also wasting of nuts is against is a sin too as well, and that's also is not pro-life, they don't want to have that conversation. So a lot of times too, I'll be like, girl, exit stage left, and I don't know which left this is. This is actually my left. So it may look right to y'all, but find the closest exit, and please, because y'all are really some bullshit. Okay, let me see. Reckless, I got a question. When it comes to the neo thing, I think you might say it before I do, though. Okay, we're gonna see, because I haven't looked too deep into neo, but however, I'm gonna do a first reaction, first commentary. We're gonna see. All right, so with that being said, let me hurry up and get out of here because I do have to do something. Then I'm gonna get back on probably like 3 minutes. I already got the watch page and stuff set up. But however, with that being said, that is it for my video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from me. And with that being said, I want to say thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys for those who cash at me. Thank you guys for those who have supported me. Thank you guys for everything you guys have done. I really appreciate it. If you guys would like to support me, my Cash App is the name that you see right here, $R Logic with 2 C's 98. With that being said, you guys do prepare for a lot more content to come. Prepare for me to go back to the drawing board. Prepare for me to bring more content like reaction videos. Prepare for me to bring more content like story times, because baby, I got some stories that I got to get into. So however, with that being said, I will see you guys in probably like 5 more minutes, because I got some things I got to get said about Mr. Neo. So with that being said, thank you guys so very much. I will see you guys later.